Hello everyone. So I did my teacher interview or teacher questionnaire with Miss Zimmerman. She is a kindergarten teacher at Forest Hills Elementary. I think she's been teaching there for 10 years now. She is great. I've enjoyed my internship so far. But I asked her a few questions about social studies. My first question I asked her is, what is your favorite thing to teach in social studies? So her answer was, I love to teach students about the cultures of other countries and make comparisons to our own country. I definitely agreed with this. I think this can be incorporated throughout any type of social studies content. Let's see. The second question I asked is, do you face any challenges as a classroom teacher in social studies planning and teaching? Her answer was, the challenges I face are the time constraints on subjects such as science and social studies. With so much emphasis on ELA and math, we are often challenged to actually find time in the day to deliver the entire lesson. I totally agree with this. I know nowadays there's so much focus on math and reading because of the EOGs and the testing that there's so much pressure for that as teachers. So I do understand that there's not really much time left for social studies and science, but I know you can incorporate that in many ways, even in math and English. So the second question I ask is, the third question, what resources do you find the most helpful in planning and teaching social studies? So what she answered is, I use current events, news, artifacts, guest speakers, and literature as resources as I plan for social studies lessons. I definitely think the guest speakers can be very impactful for students, especially if they've experienced, any type of historical events or anything like that. I think field trips are also very good when teaching social studies. Definitely the artifacts. I know so far with our first class we did a lot with artifacts, and I can see how that can be extremely helpful because I know you can actually, see the artifacts, feel them, kind of relate to them a little more than just, seeing a picture in the book. So I think that is definitely great for teaching social studies and, can really impact learning. So the fourth question I ask is, how much time a week are you able to spend on teaching social studies? And Ms. Zimmerman answered, I try to teach a little social studies every day and incorporate it throughout all subjects. Social studies is all around us and can be incorporated into lessons anytime. So yeah, like I was saying earlier, I think that is very true, very much so true. It can be incorporated in math as well as English. Kind of like the book we read, Blue, that can be an English lesson, but also can incorporate a lot of social studies, a lot of historical events. So the last question I asked was, what advice would you give to me about teaching social studies? And her answer was, my advice is to try to incorporate some social studies in everything you do. Use a variety of resources. So yeah, I think when I'm a social studies teacher, I'll obviously incorporate a lot of artifacts and news articles and things like that that students can really relate to. But overall, I've definitely had a great experience with Miss Zimmerman, and she's definitely taught me a lot so far. So I think that would conclude my interview and my reflection. So